Hello everyone, we are Group 1 from Section B and we are here to present our innovation audit analysis for Tesla. I am Rishabh Gupta and I will be talking a bit about Tesla. So Tesla is an American electric vehicle and clean energy company founded in 2003 based in California. Annual net revenue for 2019 was 24.5 billion US dollars and the net income was 775 million US dollars. They offer a wide range of products and services, which include Tesla motor vehicles, auto services, financial services, energy storage services, uh, solar panels, lifestyle products, and retail merchandise. Innovation. Now I'll be talking a bit about innovation audit. So innovation audit are in-depth analysis of different aspects of organizations' current innovation capabilities, procedures, processes, and they help in examining key indicators, which determine some strengths and weaknesses. The result of audit will highlight barriers to innovation, as well as identify improvements or new methods to maximize innovation capabilities. An innovation audit is a way to understand how effective an organization is at managing innovation. Individual employees are asked anonymously to give their opinions on different aspects of innovation management, such as the way ideas are generated. This framework classifies innovation into outputs, such as products, services, processes, and business models, and five aspects of innovation management that are strategy, idea generation, prioritization, implementation, and lastly, the people, culture, and the organization. So, innovation is estimated on three parameters. The first is the type of innovation. It basically shows where the innovation is being done in the supply chain. Second is the locus of innovation. This shows where the innovation is taking place in the organization. And the third is the nature of innovation, which shows what kind of innovation is being done. The same model can also be viewed as a cuboid, which is made up of 108 cubes. As there are 8 types of innovation, 4 types of locus of innovation, and 3 types of nature of innovation, each innovation will lead us to only one cube in the cuboid. And it will denote the three parameters which will help us better understand the innovation. Further on will be continued by my colleague.
So now let's talk about the types of innovation. First one is the business model. So business model innovation finds a fresh way to convert a firm's offering and other source of value into a cash. So it reflects a deep understanding of what customer and user wants and what is the revenue that opportunity lies in it. Innovative business model often challenges an industry tried old assumption about what to offer, what to charge, and how to collect revenue. So next one is the network innovation. It provides a way for firms to take advantage of other companies' processes, technologies, and offerings. This innovation means a firm can capitalize on its own strength while harnessing the capabilities and assets of others. It also helps executives to share risk in developing new offers and ventures. So next one is the structure innovation. They are focused on organizing company assets like tangible or intangible in a unique way that create values to the firm. It and enterprises fixed cost and corporate function can also help to improve through structure innovation, including departments such as human resource, R&D, and IT. It helps to attract talent to the organization by creating productive working environment within the firm. So the next innovation is the process innovation. It involves the activities and operations that produce an enterprise primary offerings. It often from the core competency of the enterprises to take the competitive advantage over their competitors. Innovations in internal process can obviously create a tremendous improvement in the cost. So the next one innovation is the management innovation. It's simply a process of coming up with and introducing new things and developing the businesses in one way or the other. It allows organization to respond to external or internal opportunities and use its creativity to introduce new ideas, process, or products. By utilizing management innovation tools, management can trigger and deploy the creative capabilities of the workforce for the continuous development of an organization. So the next innovation is the service innovation. It ensures and enhances the utility, performance, and apparent value of an offering. It can make an product easier to try or use or help solve potential challenges throughout the customer journey. It can make customers love even mediocre products, which naturally helps with customer satisfaction and loyalty.
Discussing about the channel innovation. A channel is basically a strategy the company used to associate their contributions with their clients and users. Traditionally, that has meant physical channels such as retail store or wholesale out distributions or outlets. Various channels are applicable for various types of items and administrations. So the vital lies in realizing what might make your client's life simpler. Now, we will be discussing about the branding innovation. A brand is basically the apparent portrayal of a client that has contributions of a given business. The purpose of brand innovation is thus, in essence, simply to help customers and users to recognize, remember, and hopefully prefer a given brand over the competitors. To reach those goals, a brand should be able to distill the key value promises of a business to craft a clear identity for it. That has been considered to be primarily the role of design, communication, and advertising, but there also plenty of room for novel ways of innovation. The next thing in line is product innovation. Moving on to the actual product or service performance is an obvious area of innovation for energy for every organization. It is what most people actually mean when they talk about innovation. This essentially means improving the product ability to create value, as in to increase the money worth of the product so that the customer who is buying the product is getting most of the money that he has spent. It is probably goes without saying that the top innovators always keep improving their performance and design of their product no matter how great they are. The example we are taking to describe the innovation audit is the company Tesla. There are very few companies that have been successfully able to innovate in all 10 types, and Tesla is one of them. They operated in incredible competitive automotive and energy industry, which typically works on thin margins and have huge barriers to entry. To reach where they are today, they have to do quite a lot of different kinds of innovation. Starting with the configuration part, the biggest thing that they have focused heavily on rethinking the network, structures, and process that have been traditionally used in automotive industry. Abandonment of dealer network and focusing on vertical integration helped to eliminate complexities and overheads in supply chain. In order to get their prices comparable with similar internal combustion engine, they did a process innovation to enable their air software updates for their vehicle first in the industry, which helped them develop and test their self-driving software as effectively as possible. In profit model section, they pioneered the pre-order model to fund the development of their upcoming cars and provide shareholders faith in the future of the business. In offering related factors, Tesla did hundreds of incremental innovation throughout the years to improve their product beyond the status quo. They have also provided the customers with the product that complement the car well, such as their supercharged network, home solar, or energy storage. Putting together all these changes have made the experience of using and owning the product so great that Tesla customers are extremely happy with their vehicles and the company. In experience space, Tesla has done a numerous of innovations. They were the first car maker that made really possible to buy a car online, operate their own stores, as well as allow you to return the car if you are not fully satisfied within 7 days of purchase. They have also started mobile fleet service that can come and fix the car where you are instead of you taking the car to the service station. They have obviously invested a lot of time and effort in to being transparent about their values and missions, which together with the pioneering product has helped them to create a very strong brand and community for them, both of which they are now starting to leverage in their energy sector as well.
Innovation audit is designed to map out innovation challenges and risks that prevent organizations from achieving their maximum potential with innovation initiatives. While performing an innovation audit, these are the key focus areas in which an organization lies their primary emphasis. First step is assets and resources. Innovation audit analyzes the effect of resource allocation on different innovation types and gives suggestion on improving the innovation output with minimum investment. Next step is communication and organizational knowledge. During innovation audit, tactic and explicit organizational knowledge transfer between people and division is understood. Talent management. The audit then highlights opportunities for potential reorganization of or training of the current talent pool for maximum output and areas to improve with external talents. Culture and leadership. Innovation audit is designed to look deeper into the obvious and go beyond the initial interview results to unlock the organizational culture and leadership patterns. Organization and structure. Innovation audit aims to improve the overall organization structure with opportunities to improve innovation output throughout the organization with optimal investment and structural change. The aim of innovation audit is not to decide an innovation strategy for an organization, choosing the balance between different innovation types. Rather, the aim is to highlight the strengths and weaknesses of all areas of innovation so that the management could have a realistic point of view about the organization capacity and the opportunities as well as the threats that are not immediately obvious from internal perspective. One way to understand the nature of innovation is by categorizing innovation to classify it based in two dimensions: the technology it uses and the market it operates in. We can use this innovation matrix to visualize the most common types of innovation. First step is incremental innovation. Most innovations are incremental, gradual, and continuous improvements in the existing concepts, products, or services in the existing market. Incremental innovations are just a little better than the previous version of the product or service and has one slight variation. TV is a classic example of both of these scenarios, as it's it's constantly improved and there are new models available while the core idea of the component remain the same. Next step is disruptive innovation. Disruptive innovation is a theory that refers to a concept, product, or a service that creates a new value network either by entering an existing market or by creating a completely new market. Disruptive innovation is where traditional business methods fail and require new capabilities. Although the risks are big, there is a huge growth potential if everything goes right. Example of disruptive innovation is Netflix, where initial mail-in movie subscription service was not attractive to blockbuster mainstream customers, but rather to these early adopters who were already used to online shopping. The third one is sustaining innovation. Sustaining innovation is the opposite of disruptive innovation, as it exists in the current market, and instead of creating new value network, it improves and grows the existing ones by satisfying the needs of the customers. Sustaining innovations in turn continue to grow the market slowly, but no longer in the same proportion. At this point, the focus shifts to increasing profits. An example of one disruptive, currently fully sustaining and profitable innovation are iPhones. With the recent versions of the phones appeal to the same customer segments and do not create a new value network. The last one is radical innovation. Radical innovation is rare as it has similar characteristics to disruptive innovation, but it is different in a way that is simultaneously uses a revolutionary technology and a new business model. Although radical innovations are rare, there have been more and more of these in the recent past. Technological innovations such as personal computer and the internet are the examples of radical innovation that have transformed the way the entire world functions and communicates. These disruptive innovations provide the society with a platform to build on top of the leading to highly accelerated economic growth. However, when executed successfully, it often means the bringing of a new era that affects many sectors and geographies.
A disruptive innovation is one that creates a new market that eventually disrupts the existing markets and a value network that displaces the existing market leaders. However, Christensen said that it is specifically done by offering lower performance goods than what the customers expect at that time, but they also offer new features that help them to create new markets. Um, and as the product innovates and moves along the existing performance metrics, they are able to disrupt the existing markets. One of the examples of disruptive innovation is of the transistor radio. Initially, the sound quality of these radios was inferior than the analog predecessor, but they were light and affordable. And prior to this innovation, the customer version of the radio was big, heavy, expensive piece of furniture that was purchased by the head of the family and kept in the living room. Today, tube radios are essentially extinct. Talking about sustaining innovation, they do not create new markets or value networks. Instead, they add value to the products in the existing markets, which help them to compete with one another over time. Classic example of sustaining innovation are the annual releases of smartphones in the smartphone market or the incremental horsepower, legroom, and mileage gains in the automobile industry. In these cases, innovations improve the existing products to stay competitive, but they do not create new markets. Thus, with regard to Tesla, as the manufacturer of the fully electric vehicles to be produced and sold to the automobile market, since the technology was originally abandoned in favor of the gasoline cars in the early 20th century, the questions are they products creating a new market? No. Does it add incremental value to an existing product? Yes. So it is a sustaining innovation.
Locus of innovation is the place where innovation occurs. Locus, or the place where innovation is being taken place, is based whether it is part of a small group or a team, whether it is being immersed in the project or the whole organization, or if the innovation is changing the whole business ecosystem and how the industry works. So based on types of innovation and nature of innovations, we have four different types of locus of innovations: small team, projects, organization, and business ecosystems. So talking about first type of locus of innovation, small teams. They are a small group of people who come together under a particular environment and they create innovation. Projects refer to a set of people who come together for a project within an organization. The innovation may vary from project to project. Whenever the innovation happens from an organization as a whole, the locus is said to be from organization. An organization must innovate to gain an edge over its competitors. Finally, business ecosystem means a group of companies working in an industry. Today, organizations are simultaneously collaborating and competing with one another in order to co-create values, co-evolve capabilities with one another, and develop innovation in a more effective, timely, and efficient manner.
Businesses which are successful don't only respond to the current needs of their customers, but usually predict the future trends and come up with an idea, service, or product that can meet the future demand quickly and effectively. This is the reason why organizations have to stay innovate. Now, Tesla is one of the biggest firms in terms of innovation. The company has shifted the auto industry toward electric vehicles and achieved consistently growing revenue. At the start of 2020, Tesla was the highest performing automaker in terms of total return, sales growth, and long term shareholder value. The locus of innovation of Tesla is organization line, and it is necessary to look at the competitive advantages they have gotten by this. Tesla currently produces more batteries in terms of kilowatt hours than all other car makers combined. With the Gigafactory ramping up production and more coming online in time, Tesla's cost of battery cells continues to decline through economies of scale. Innovative manufacturing, reduction of waste, and the simple optimization of locating most manufacturing processes under one roof. Tesla's battery supply chain is a part of Tesla's big business advantage, as its batteries are generally considered to be better than the competition's. Tesla's proprietary superfast charging stations create sufficient recharging opportunities for Tesla's electric vehicle drivers. Tesla's current fleet of superchargers range in power from 72 kilowatt for Tesla's urban superchargers up to 250 kilowatt for the newest superchargers being installed around the world. The biggest benefit of the supercharger network, so far completely unmatched, are how widespread and well integrated the network is for road trips and how easily supercharging can be done by the Tesla drivers. Over the air updates, just like the ones we get on smartphones, tablets, and computers, continuously improve Tesla's all electric vehicles. Updates come fairly frequently. It is a part of Tesla's innovative process and making innovations readily available to the previous customers too. Tesla has developed a reputation for producing superb products. The Tesla Roadster transformed the image of all electric cars from small, slow vehicles to amazingly fast vehicles of desire. Tesla has built on the appeal in model after model. No other company has an electric car on the market that comes close to the performance to price ratio of Tesla Model 3 and its in-house permanent magnet synchronous reluctance motor. Tesla sold almost 3 times more units of the Model 3 than the second best-selling car in the world got in 2019. When Tesla launches a product like the Cybertruck, the reception tends to be divisive. Critics see it as further evidence that founder Elon Musk is out of touch and doomed to fail, while supporters buy in. Within a month of Tesla releasing Cybertruck, it received 200,000 pre-orders for the vehicle. Compare that to Ford 150, the world's best-selling car in 2018, which sold just over 1 million vehicles that year. Here, Tesla uses the innovation to do its branding and winning the resources to commercialize.